When is the best time to visit Istanbul? Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Özge Ersu, a professional tourist guide, licensed travel expert and destination specialist all over the world, throughout the whole Turkey, each and every corner of Istanbul and its environs. With my experience of well over 35 years, I'm very happy to share my unbiased knowledge and my extensive know-how here with you. By the way, I'm also a travel writer, an online documentary web radio owner, to name Late Radio, a musical documentary producer, keynote speaker, lecturer, and professional content creator. So you see, I wear more than one hat, or as the saying goes in Turkish language, I do carry too many watermelons under one armpit, which is sometimes hard, but that's the way I like it. If you, your family, or your friends want to travel with me under my professional guidance, with my travel expertise anywhere on earth or somewhere over the rainbow, my contacts are at the description below. So, let's cut to the point and delve right into the subject of my video today. When is the best time to visit Istanbul? I have been living in this city for over 40 years. Thus, with the help of my humble clues, you will have a hassle-free holiday as far as the weather is concerned. Well, except extreme geographical locations, many cities sing the same tune. Come during the springtime, as well as in autumn. While summer is great, winter months still have a lot to offer. In our case, Istanbul is without any exception either. First of all, please keep in mind that nowadays it's really hard to talk about the exact weather pattern of a specific geographical location. With the growing effects of global warming, such a generalization is always risky due to unexpected meteorological conditions. So, I advise you to double-check, even triple-check the weather on your upcoming travel dates, which is quite easy with so many free apps around available for your devices, as well as websites with longer-term forecasts, including annual averages, that may help you to take better decisions. Just a short reminder here. I am recording this video on July 2020, almost at the end of the COVID pandemic, or better to say, maybe the first wave, and I am well aware of the current situation in Istanbul and all over the world. But since I want this video and all the information I included stands against the time, I'll keep my statements generic, without discussing the probable outcomes of the disease, practically affecting all destinations. I may publish a different video on this later. Oh yes, the weather. Like Ella Fitzgerald or Frank Sinatra sings, I love Paris every moment, you will also fall in love with Istanbul each and every month of the year if you haven't done so until now. However, I will start again by saying that spring and autumn are the best of times, the rule of thumb for all the cities around the same latitude with Istanbul. Let's start with April, where lovely spring makes its presence felt with warm weather, blossoming trees and flowers all over the city with less showers. When I say less showers, compared to the previous months of course. Be warned against some surprise liquid air though, to a lesser extent. This is also the tulip month, the unofficial symbol of the Republic of Turkey. Keep in mind that tulip was first introduced to Europe, to Netherlands to be precise, at the end of the 16th century. So you will really feel that you are at homeland of tulip flower. During April and May, every corner of Istanbul offers spectacular opportunities for various activities. Whether it be a walking tour, a coach ride, or a Bosphorus trip, anything you may like to do. The average daytime temperatures are between 12 to 20 degrees Celsius. During the nights, naturally, it's a little bit lower. As days get longer, Istanbulites enjoy almost 12 hours of daylight, beginning from 7 in the morning. However, this is also the beginning of the touristic high season, as we travel professionals like to name it. That means that you will encounter slightly higher rates and higher occupancies in accommodation and related services, be it a luxury hotel, Airbnb, or alike. The opening of the season may also affect your shopping experience negatively, as you might notice a small increase in touristic items. But hey, skip the topic of shopping in Istanbul, as this is the subject matter of another video of mine. During late spring and early autumn, Be warned though against school field trips that adds an additional overload to the daily crowd. If you want to go to swimming in this mega city, also another item I may cover in another video at another time, it's better to wait for the beginning of the summer, namely the first week of June, if you do not like relatively cool water temperatures and occasional wind like myself. Although surrounded by two seas, Black Sea and Marmara, water straits, mainly Bosphorus and Golden Horn, as well as lovely nearby islands, you'll be surprised to learn that this city offers somewhat limited swimming opportunities with a few beaches until early September. However, there is a lot to say on this subject matter at another time, with some drawbacks I should warn you about, mainly being the water pollution. Well, finally summer is here. Expect fewer rainfall, except some transient summer showers. The daily averages are not less than 20 degrees Celsius, rarely climbing over 30s. Days are longer, from very early hours until late in the evening. Now, all hotels and accommodation facilities are at peak season, which indicates highest rates and occupancies for you. Many travelers from all over the world populate Istanbul, Turkish citizens from other cities, as well as locals who want to enjoy the city after summer vacation begins for schools. After leaving the pandemic behind, also take into consideration of a couple of cruise ships docked at the port of Istanbul, with thousands of day-dollar cruise travelers populating the city from 8 in the morning up to 5 in the afternoon. They stroll by themselves or they tour as organized groups. Well, this also brings the issues of longer queues in front of popular attractions, fewer tables in restaurants and cafes, with more crowd all around the city, cramped streets, shops and venues, especially during the weekends. As September approaches, autumn leaves slowly start to fall, while Istanbul is still a fabulous setting, even for the discriminating traveler. The weather is very mild, as we Turks call this, the weather is like sweet lemonade. Enjoy fewer crowds, as many tourist groups prefer the busy summer months, and the school vacation comes to an end. Mid-September also brings a farewell to beaches and swimming opportunities in and around the city. Accommodation prices and occupancies may slightly drop, but keep in mind that many events, congresses and large-scale meetings target spring and fall period. You might still experience some minor difficulties with your reservations. Daily temperatures still hover around 20 degrees Celsius, if not more than that. Expect some rain as well. By October, be prepared for cooler evenings, slightly stronger winds and some more rainfall. But the sun and the sunshine is still generous. Though the days are shorter, this month is still great for Bosphorus cruises, strolls in and around the historic peninsula, touristic attraction visits, with less people around. Shopping is also great as winter collections show up in shop windows. Accommodation costs tend to come down a little bit as well. November in Istanbul is romantic, comfortable, cheaper, well, slightly colder, a little bit more windy and rainy, still with quite occasional sunny weather, while daylight is much shorter compared to the summertime. Before I forget, while we are talking about October and November, let's include early spring period as well. I should warn you about the rare Istanbul fog, sis as we call it, occasionally blocking the seaway traffic in the morning hours, generally disappearing around noon. Sometimes it may get very dense, but not that frequent as it is in San Francisco and Bay Area. However, when it happens, this fog adds serious load to the usual and never-ending traffic jam. While talking about traffic jam, please remember that Istanbul and environs, being one of the world's largest metropolitan areas, is home to an almost 20 million people, while a considerable percentage of this population exchange continents twice a day. Sister of Istanbul fog is Lodos, the name of the prevailing and strong south-westerly warm wind, predominating in the Marmara Sea and actually may occur all year round. It raises high seas, dangerous waves, stronger currents in Bosphorus, as well as in the Marmara Sea, which also blocks the seaway traffic from time to time. Strongest in the afternoon, it dies mostly in the night. but sometimes it may last a couple of days. Even though the seaway closure may be overridden by 3 suspension bridges and an underwater highway for people changing continents, it becomes a major problem for people using ferries to nearby cities or the locals living in Princess Islands, and for the daily visitors who may end up sleeping there until the wind dies. The Lodos wind may also delay the flight schedules, or schedules if you will. This wind is also thought to affect directly the mental and physical performance of Istanbulites, a good excuse for occasional headaches, business-related decision failures, and low-grade exam results in school, being also the best reason to put the blame on fights between lovers and friends. December, January and February are for sure winter months for us. As expected, temperatures are not higher than 15 degrees Celsius, with an average of 7 to 10, rarely dropping down below zero. When I was a kid, that was many moons ago, Istanbul used to receive occasional heavy snowfall. I remember that we were stuck at home at times, with almost all schools and offices closed. Now we have less and less snowfall, mostly a couple of times every winter month, many of them being a flurry one. But hey, winter is winter. It is cold, windy and rainy. If you love Istanbul in the winter, be sure to get prepared accordingly. Having said this, however, there is still so much to do in Istanbul in wintertime. World-class museums, mosques, churches and countless indoor tourist attractions are just at arm's reach, as well as concerts, gourmet experiences with international cuisine and local food, events, shopping opportunities, and other possibilities await, all limited only by your imagination. By the way, considering the percentage of minorities and expats living in Istanbul, Christmas time and New Year's Eve is also very colorful and a lively period, without any Christmas holiday closures, except 1st of January. We Turks actually concentrate on 31st of December only, skipping the Christmas joy, but still benefiting from the sweet hustle and bustle of the last week of the year. Well, a magic mix times, let's say. As this video ends, we will end up where we started. The month of March will meet us, still with relatively some cold weather and some surprise sunshine, as days begin to get longer and the temperature slightly begins to increase. Rain is usual in March. Last but not the least, for each year you must also check the 2 important religious holiday periods, being Ramazan and Kurbambayrama. I love to use and teach you the Turkish words instead of their Arabic equivalents. Ramazan Bayramı simply means the feast or the festival of Ramadan, at the end of the holy Ramadan month, indicating the termination of the fasting period for the Muslim world. It is also unofficially named as Şeker Bayramı, the sugar festival, as offering candies and chocolates is one of the traditions to compensate the month of fasting diet, if you will. Every year, approximately 2 months later is the second religious holiday, Kurbambayrama, the festival of the sacrifice, where Muslim belief orders the sacrifice of the sheep. The real history and story behind this ritual is much deeper than mentioning it only with a single sentence, but I will not be covering this now here. Anyway, although these are religious holidays, they are also official vacations that all Turks look forward to. Government offices, banks and companies are closed. Shops, markets and small businesses may stay open though. The holiday is actually 3 to 4 days, but depending on the day of the week, they may well be joined and transformed into a much longer weekend, unofficially at our own will or by government decree. So, every year we end up with 7 to 9, better to say, almost 10 days long holidays. These are the busiest dates as whole Turkey is on vacation. Most people visit their hometowns, exchange visits to parents or relatives in different cities, or find the chance to enjoy some family time together within Istanbul and Turkey. This creates a very long traffic jams in all of the highways originating from Istanbul, both in and out. Furthermore, add to this the incoming international tourists arriving from Muslim countries, such as the Arabic Peninsula, Malaysia, Indonesia, which should also be strongly kept in mind. Actually, These specific dates have their advantages and disadvantages, but I would frankly suggest that you skip these religious holiday dates if you do not have a specific reason to come to Istanbul, and maybe target just the weeks or the week before and after these. Also note that Muslim religion is based on Islamic moon calendar system. Thus, every year, these dates are approximately 10 days earlier compared to the previous year. As for 2020, these periods are the last week of May and roughly last week of July, respectively for Ramazan and Kurbambayrama. So, let's finalize our subject. No pun intended, a final word for Istanbul. We say the weather here has a ladylike character, changing rapidly and unexpectedly. But anyway, I love Istanbul all year round, and once you are here, I bet you will too. If you remember, I started my video with Ella Fitzgerald and Frank the Voice Sinatra. Now let me finish with Ray Charles, inviting all of you to Istanbul, singing Come Rain or Come Shine. Speaking of songs, please also keep in mind that Istanbul is not Constantinopolis. And as I told you at the beginning of the video, double check any information that might be vital and critical to you, as things may and do change nowadays in this fast-paced world unexpectedly without any previous notice. Oh, one final word. All the content on my videos reflect my own point of view. My reviews are honest and away from any social or commercial concern. Being only on your side, I do treat you exactly as I do for my own family. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for your precious time. Feel free to click my related videos that may make your holidays much easier and pleasing. If you liked my content, I would appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel. Share it with your fellow travelers. Like my videos, and most importantly, comment on them. Please remember that I read all the comments and reply your questions. You may also reach me directly on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook via my official website and my email. All contact details are in the video description below. I am your travel expert all over the world, throughout Turkey and Istanbul. I hope we meet again in another video of mine in Istanbul or somewhere around the world. Bye for now. Meanwhile, don't forget to travel with Özge Ersu.